Hi, welcome to the Predictive Playbook for Tuesday afternoon, February the 16th, 2021. I am your host, John Ryan. I can be found at John Ryan Sports and the number one over at Twitter. And I'm pleased to be joined by one of my favorite guests, and it's so much fun to talk to, is Albert from Analytics Capper, which he can be found at Twitter with the @ Analytics Capper. And if you don't already subscribe to him and don't already follow him, please do. He's also started a tremendous series of videos similar to this, but different, and a completely different feel for them too. They are very good. I've listened to several of them, and I'll tell you the truth, because I listen to them, I think you should too. How you doing, Albert?
Thanks for that, John. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. We had a down day yesterday, so I'm looking for, a strong bounce back today. There's a few games I do love, and hopefully we'll get into some other sports that we usually don't. There's the Champions League returning today in soccer, and then the Australian Open men's and women's semifinals. So maybe we'll get into that as well.
Okay, that sounds great. I know the NBA it's been getting a little bit more difficult because of potential cancellations and even situations where a player like Drummond is going to be traded, so he wants out of the lineup, which I find again, the tail wagging the dog again. I really don't know the details on why that is occurring. Not necessarily the trade, but why wouldn't you play just in case the trade doesn't go through?
Yeah.
But that's a topic for another time. But I know in the NHL, which I don't do much of, but I know my NHL comrades have really been struggling with the cancellations and late scratches and all kinds of difficult things to maneuver and navigate through, really. But I'm pleased. My clients are pleased with the results that I've been getting. I'm still in that high 60% range, just kind of chugging along here. So just waiting for that next win streak to start again. And you never know when that's going to be, do you, Albert?
You never know. It could be today, right? Let's hope it's today and hope it lasts until the new year. That would be ideal. Let's get into
Yeah.
hockey first. So there's 5 games tonight, 3 at 7 p.m. and 2 at 10 p.m. So 3 early ones, 2 late ones. One has been postponed, or I think 2 has been postponed. I think the Stars, due to weather, has been canceled. But there's only one game that I wanted to highlight. I do like the Wild today on the road in LA. It's going to be Jonathan Quick for the Kings. I like the Kings as a team. They are always a live dog, but I think the line reading here, as well as the money, I do like Minnesota Wild. I think that's most likely going to be my only premium hockey play. Do you have any plays in NHL today?
I don't. And I usually use the machine learning to guide me through the maze because, as I said, to be completely honest about this, there's not enough time in the day for me to learn hockey and all the players and all the situations. So I rely on the automation, which is technology that we can take advantage of and still produce winners. But I absolutely have nothing. I've been waiting for a day, and hopefully we'll be on the show together when it happens, where I have 2 or 3 money line dogs identified that are over 150, and then we do the round robin parlay, and that's one of the few times you'll hear me say the word parlay. But when those happen, over the course of many years, those are exciting times, for myself and my clients. So we'll keep an eye on that, and I'll be sure to share it with everybody because that's where you can really make a big day, and you're not taking big chances. You're taking worthy dogs that have a strong chance to win, and you're really expecting 2 of the 3 to win, and lo and behold, maybe 3 of the 3 will win. So for me, there's nothing today on the NHL card, and easy to say with only 5 games.
Yeah. All right, let's quickly touch the Champions League soccer today. I don't know if you're a soccer guy, John, but it is the knockout stage. It's starting in 17 minutes. So I do want to get through the 2 games today so people can jump on. So the first one is RB Leipzig against Liverpool. everybody knows Liverpool is a great team. They actually have been playing poorly as of late, and Leipzig is always a offensive juggernaut. The thing about this game is, if you don't remember, Liverpool, being from the UK, cannot travel into Germany because of COVID and restrictions that way. So they're actually playing this game on a neutral site in Budapest. This hurts Leipzig immensely because, as we all know, European soccer and the home field advantage is so enormous. But the fact that they're playing in Budapest here hurts Leipzig. I don't know if I have a side personally, but I do like both teams to score. I think it started out at 150. It's probably closer to 180 or even worse, depending on what site you're using. But I got it this morning at 160. I am pretty comfortable with that. I usually don't lay that much juice when it comes to soccer and betting in general, but I do see both teams scoring today. Do you have any input on this game, John?
Albert, this is something that's brand new to me. I know it's been going on for a long time, and the betting public is growing by leaps and bounds in this sport. So I'm glad that you're going to start sharing this because it gives me an opportunity as a beginner to start understanding more about how these bets can be placed. Along that line, I've always enjoyed betting on horse racing. And, I only bet the Kentucky Derby, and of course I don't read the daily racing form. It's more of, just throw, $50 on a horse or two and then see what happens. But we will have a new guest who's been doing this for, I probably shouldn't embarrass him and say more than 2 decades, but I've been doing it for that long. But he's going to be joining us on Fridays and running down a lot of his best bets for the Saturday cards in horse racing. So now I have 2 sports to learn through you with soccer, and then we can learn how to make some money with the horses. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, it's an exciting time, honestly, for all sports because, like you said, the advent and the implementation of sports betting is widespread now. Soccer is really hard to bet because you don't know what team or what lineups you're going to get for that day. But the advantage here I wanted to speak about Liverpool is they're pretty much out of the English Premier race. They're 5th, I believe, right now. So it's basically Man City's to take. And I think with that in mind, I think they're really going to focus their efforts, their energy, their practice time on the Champions League. And I think, if they don't win England, but they win the Champions League, obviously it's a successful year for them. So I do like Liverpool here. This honestly would be a huge. You have minus 180. That's the Premier League. If you can look up,
okay.
If you look at the Champions League, that's the one. Yeah. You scared me there. I was like, wow, Liverpool at 180. No, I believe they're around a 130, so a slight money line favorite. And
that would be this league right here.
It would be Champions League. Maybe scroll down to UEFA. Go to U. There you go, UEFA Champions League. So according to Wager Talk, we have Liverpool at 125 and RB Leipzig at 210. Yeah, there's a lot of value on the draw as well. But if you guys are going to take my advice and do both teams to score prop, which is minus 160, there's no need to do draw. That's almost like a redundant bet. And then the second game, obviously the marquee game of the day, is Barcelona versus PSG. Neymar is missing. Yeah, Neymar is missing for PSG today. Barcelona has been playing very well as of late. I think they've won 7 straight in La Liga. Messi is doing great. So I do love Barcelona here. You can see that with the line movement. They opened at basically a plus 130 and now they're minus 140 favorites, which is pretty a huge power move when it comes to soccer. So to review, I guess the first game, I like both teams to score. Second game, I do like Barcelona on the money line. We have a comment here from Nutty Professor. I see RB Leipzig to score -140. That's also a good bet. Liverpool's defense has not been great. They actually just bought two new center backs that still don't have cohesiveness. They don't know how to play together yet. So it could be an up and down game. That is a pretty good bet there. So that's all I wanted to talk about with Champions League.
Albert, at the risk of wasting time, we could be talking about the NBA. I do have a question that I think a lot of
Sure.
novice people would say. I'm used to favorites and underdogs. Now you put into the equation the draw, which I understand that part. But what if the line moves from basically on the Barcelona game opened at plus 128 and has
Mhm.
now moved to minus 140? How? Why did um, why did the other team go to plus 335 from 194? So I'm looking at these numbers right here.
Yes. So because one team is now a legitimate favorite, alternatively, it just makes the other team a bigger underdog. And it should also make the draw bet larger. Yes. So it started at open at 276. Now it's at plus 309. Basically, the odds makers are putting, the onus on Barcelona to win. So there's less chance for the other two to happen, whether that's PSG winning straight up or if it's a draw. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So if I took the favorite here and I bet
Mm-hmm.
$100 on them, and then I thought, well, they might tie, and I bet another 100. Does that almost that guarantees I don't lose, right?
That
Because I'm
guarantees you
gonna.
don't lose. That guarantees you don't lose if you are 100% sure PSG does not win. If PSG wins, obviously you go 0-2 on your bets, and that's the nature of soccer. You just never know because it's such a low scoring
Scoring
sport
game.
that 1-0 either way can make a world of difference. And so, yeah, I mean, you can. There's a lot of people in the school of thought that they just bet a low number on the draw every single game. And if you hit 1 out of 3 games, you're going to be profitable in the end because it's usually around a plus 300, maybe 280. So you can play it that way if you want to go, the law of large numbers and play the long term scale. But if you want to actually zero in on a game or 2 games, then you really have to pick a side. There's also so many other bets that you can bet in soccer, just like in other sports. You can bet a team total over. You can bet both teams to score, like I said, or both teams not to score. You can bet the spread. There's so many things that you can get into. But for the 2 games today, to review, I do like both teams to score in the first game and then Barcelona to win in the second game.
Okay.
All
Thanks
right,
for
let's get
explaining that to us.
let's get into the NBA here. I know we just have a few minutes left. John, was there a specific game you wanted to talk about first?
Well, I guess so. The game is the Phoenix Suns, and they are hosting the Brooklyn Nets, which I seem to talk about a lot. I guess they are pretty polarizing. So I was glad to hear that Kyrie and James straightened out who was going to be the point guard. And I say that tongue in cheek, of course, because I think the story is pretty much Kyrie said, I'm the point guard. So I don't know what to think of that. And of course, you have to discount everything by how the media presents it. It could be just not even close to being true. But I do like Phoenix tonight to win by a pretty comfortable margin. And I would stick my neck out on and under. I think this game goes the favorite and under. And if I'm dead wrong, it's going to be the direct opposite. Um, and I did a little bit of research on teasers. The 7 point teaser, 10 point teasers. With the totals being so high now, the results were just beyond poor as compared to even just 5 years ago when the
Yep.
totals weren't so high. So, the reason I bring this up is my recommendation is don't do teasers, don't do the
Yeah.
parlays, and just play units. You're better off doing $100 per bet, side total, whatever, than you are trying to make these killings, because it'll kill your bankroll is what it'll end up doing. So in this game, I really like Phoenix here. They're backed by a lot of powerful analytics here, and I'll leave it at that. I'll mention this system, and it also applies to tomorrow night's game when the Clippers host Utah, and it favors Utah. So in this system, goes like this. You're playing. See, I think I have the wrong one up here, Albert. Hold on one second.
No worries. Yeah, while you look that up, I can talk to the Suns. So this is a game that I agree with you, to be honest. Not only from a line reading, open at 4, now it's 4.5. I see some at 5. I think the money is going to the Suns. The sharp play is going to the Suns, but as a whole, the Suns are just a really solid team. They have two of the best closers in the game with Chris Paul and Devin Booker. And if you don't play defense, they're just going to eat you alive. And we know the Nets don't play defense. So that is a very sharp play on the under there. I respect it a lot. I love contrarian plays like that. But the Suns most likely will be a premium play for me and my clients today. We backed them all year, and they paid off for us. I think we're going to continue the run tonight.
I definitely agree. This system has gone 55-24 for 70% winners over the last 5 seasons, and the requirements are to bet on home teams that have covered the spread in their last 3 games, has a winning record on the season, facing an opponent that has a winning record, and that opponent is coming off 3 consecutive games installed as a favorite. So even more powerful than it is for tonight on Phoenix, I know right now the Clippers are going to be one of my strongest bets probably of the month. Utah has covered 17 of 19, and yes, when you flip a coin, it's mutually exclusive each time you flip it. You can have 17 heads and 2 tails, but we're not talking about flipping a coin here. We're talking about performance measures, and we're talking about a market that's adjusting every single day to Utah, and not really giving any attention to the Clippers, who, if there was ever a game to make a statement and say, "Look, Utah, you're not running away with this." So, that's the game tomorrow night that I'm, really.
So I love that. Yeah, I love that game. Even as just an NBA fan, you have the hottest team in the league, right? The Jazz, like you said, they've covered 17 out of 19, and one of those was a push, by the way, 17-1-1. And then the Clippers, who we know Kawhi is, one of the best players in the NBA. So as a fan, it's great to see. I would say there is one reason for you to err on the side of caution is they're actually playing back-to-back in LA. So it's going to be a rematch. So maybe your system is going to be right, but it could be right on the second game and not the first game. So that's something that you also have to look into.
That's true. I mean, off the top of my head, I would play it both times. But
there you go. Yeah.
I do think that, we talk about regression and I guess progression. A team is doing really crappy and there's a likelihood that they're going to progress back to their mean. In the case of Utah, I don't think there's really regression involved in here, because I think they're an outstanding team. But they are going to go through a couple potholes and have their struggles, just like every other team in the history of basketball has.
Yeah.
And if there was ever a game, to set this up, this is the one, I think.
I fully agree, and I've mentioned this on a couple shows just this week. But a great edge for this game, if you don't want to bet the sides or totals, and you just want to enjoy the game. So we know that Mike Conley is out, and it has been out for the Utah Jazz for a while now. And what that means is Donovan Mitchell is handling the ball a lot more. He's taking on those point guard duties. And if you look at his assist numbers the last 5 to 6 games, outside of one blowout game that he only played, I think, 20-something minutes, he's been hitting his assist prop pretty easily. And so we have a question, John. If you could put the NBA lines on the screen, that'd be helpful for Tim. But yeah, I wanted to say if you can find a good number on a Donovan Mitchell assist prop, that would be good. Um, One thing about the Jazz that I fully agree they're a great team. I just posted a video on my YouTube channel yesterday that they're a team that you should back. However, they do depend on Jordan Clarkson way too much. And I may be a Jordan Clarkson hater, but I think he's just a very streaky shooter. And, this run that he's on is going to have to end sometime. He just had 40 plus points last night. I don't know if he can do another 40 or 30 points against, the Clippers tomorrow night. So that is something to look for, because if and when he does regress or fall off just a little bit, that's when you see Utah's ATS numbers begin to fall as well, because they live and die by the three. They are a high pace, high 3-point shooting team. And if he begins to, shoot at a 30% clip instead of 40% clip, that's a big difference.
Oh, it's huge. It's a great point. Great breakdown of the game. And just for fun, I was while you were talking, I typed into the database in the NBA history. Well, it's not the history. It's going back to 2006, 15 years. There have been numerous occasions where a team has covered the spread 17 out of 19 times or more, 17 or 18 or 19 for 19. 17 times it's occurred. Straight up record is 12-5. ATS is 8-9, and the under is 10-5 with 2 pushes. And that under makes sense too. That a team is performing so well and winning, and outperforming the market and everyone's expectations, that there is that time where the total gets too high, and the team may play normal game, but the total is so high it goes under. So that part makes sense to me, but it also brings to light the fact that you just can't assume that a team went 17-2 and is due to regress and lose the next night.
True.
I look at it as next 10 games, perhaps they go 5-5 and 4-6 against the spread. We're not talking about Utah going 1-9. So that's the cautionary part of this. But it's certainly an exciting tonight and tomorrow. We're getting some really good matchups. Sports is really kicking into gear now, I think.
Yeah, I'm excited. Obviously, we don't have time to get into tennis, but we're about to hit the semifinals and the finals of the Australian Open, both the men and women's side. Just check back. You and I, we're gonna record another show very soon. You do this every day. I think I'm gonna jump on another time this week. I guess I'm gonna close if that's okay. Yeah. So please check out my YouTube channel, Analytics Capper. My Twitter account is right there at Analytics Capper as well. I'm going to have John Ryan and friends on my YouTube channel very soon. And thank you again for listening in, and good luck everyone on your bets. And if you guys are, in the central US right now, we're frozen, right? Texas all the way up to Canada. Please be safe. Please be careful. Bring your pets inside. Check on, your grandparents, the elderly, please. Just be safe.
Yeah, and you too, Albert. You be safe as well.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll see you guys all tomorrow, and thanks for listening. And as always, may all the wins be yours.
Bye.